Hey everybody, Andy here for the Andy Show. It is a no spit zone. No, I wanted to do a video because I get remarks about Nesara Gesara pretty regularly, and I thought, well, let's get it out in the open. There's a lot of people that just hear the terms, they hear an explanation about it, and they're sold it has to be, it has to be. Nesara is the National Economic Security and Recovery Act. Sounds big, sounds official, sounds awesome. Gesara is basically the same thing. I can't remember exactly what the acronym stands for, but this was Nesara was a an LSU grad student, Bernard Harvey Bernard. Can't think of his full name. Anyway, Harvey Bernard, back in the late 80s, early 90s, did I believe it was a doctoral thesis. I'm not 100%. And he did it stating that his whole economic paper was to end income tax, federal income tax, more or less abolish the IRS, and go to a national sales tax. A national sales tax would be awesome. It's a great idea. Way 100% of the people. Plus, you've got all these people coming in, all your tourists and everybody coming in from all these other countries that are helping support our system. Not just in city taxes and airport taxes, but anything that they buy while they're here, they're supporting our government. They're supporting us. So 10% would be a windfall. It's just such an amazing, simple idea. And I think that's what our government is scared of. Simple is we could keep a camera right on them and see what they're doing, how they're doing it, because we know the money that's coming in. We know where it's coming from. We know how they're getting it. Do away with all the other taxes. A 10% national sales tax, I think, would bring in probably a huge percentage more than our national income tax does today. There's no filters. There's no not paying. If you purchase a product, you're paying 10% on top of that. That's it, no matter what. And you can almost gauge how much that would be by our previous sales. Look at the sales tax that the cities and the counties and the state get. Add 10% to it. 10 cents on the dollar doesn't seem like much. But you look at the billions and billions of dollars that tourists pay, and there's no getting out from under that tax. So, okay, I'm gonna stop there. A national sales tax would be awesome. I would love to see it. No more than 10%. If 10% is good enough for God, it's good enough for our government. But that was one of many pieces of the puzzle that this guy wrote about and presented. He actually presented his paper to Congress with little to no attention given to it. And he thought it would pass on its own merits just because it was such a great idea. Yeah, but once you simplify things, you're also lessening the power that they have. And our government is 100% about power and control. Okay? They make their millions in the process by working these deals. But their power and their control are what drives them. So you're not going to see anything for the people. They don't care about us. They truly do not care. They put on a show and pretend they care, but it's almost like wear a mask for the virus. We don't want to get a virus, and you got to be tested, and you got to get the vaccine. But wait a second, let's let tens of thousands and thousands of people cross this border untested, unvaccinated, undocumented. It's the mindset and the hypocrisy can just blow your mind when you allow it to. This has nothing to do with them giving a flip about you as a person or you as an American. It's about their power, their control. So Nesara will never work on its own face because of that. But let's go a little deeper. He presented the paper, and little to no attention Congress paid to it. I don't remember. He only gave it to certain select members of Congress or something. In steps a total con artist and a fraud, Tanya, Shaney. Anyway, whatever her name is, she's a complete fraud. I shouldn't want to say her name right to begin with because she doesn't deserve that kind of attention. But Shania Godwin, total fraud, admitted to the courts when she got busted that she was a total fraud. She got this going, Nesara going, and it entered the conspiracy theory domain because all this stuff was supposed to happen. There was a big meeting on President Clinton signed it into law in March after passing secretly through Congress. How many secret laws have passed through Congress? Secret now. So Clinton signs it into law to be effective September 11th, 2001. How convenient. But before they could enact it, Bush didn't like it, so he caused 9/11 to happen so that this law couldn't become effective. Come on, people. Seriously? Anyway, it keeps getting rebirthed when the right things are happening in our economy and somebody digs this up out of a grave and tries to pass it off again. And I think what happens is some people know part of it, but they don't know the whole story. And I'm not going to give you the entire story in this, but do some research. And it's okay if you disagree with me. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to. I'm not going to dislike you because you choose not to agree with me. I'm not mad at you because you want to keep going with this Nesara farce. Okay? You have every right to do whatever it is you want to do. I'm not calling you stupid for doing it. I think you have not educated yourself through all the aspects of what's going on. If you have, there is something in you that is desperate to keep it going even when you know that it's not real. Okay? I don't know quite how to explain it. I'm not great at that kind of stuff, but if you believe it, more power to you. If you want me to believe it, give me some proof. Don't say, well, what if, or if this and this could happen, and, well, you don't know this is doing this behind the scenes. Show me proof. I want facts. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. They're not entitled to their own facts. So if you want me to believe that Nesara is something that happens, which it isn't, but I am not so closed-minded that I won't listen to actual evidence. But based on everything leading up, this is all a total farce. She's admitted to being the fraud she was with all these things about 9/11 and Bush and Clinton. And she admitted she lied about it all. There is no law. Here's another one. Now it's there's something to do with the Supreme Court. And with Nesara, there's these gag orders in place. People, now I'm begging you to use some logic here. There's not been a case brought to the Supreme Court. Okay? At least that I'm unaware of. If there is a case that was brought to the Supreme Court, I would like to know about it regarding Nesara. But supposedly, the Supreme Court has put a gag order on everybody under penalty of death. You got to use this. The Supreme Court has no say if there isn't already a case in front of them. They don't just decide, hey guys, you think we should tell everybody they got to shut up? They can't say anything. One of the other 8 people is going to go, where do we have that right? Yeah. There's no case in front of us. How are we going to make a ruling on a case that doesn't exist? So there's got to be times when you think about where some of this comes from, how it gets hyped up, who gets attention from it. The biggest, my opinion, the biggest con out there is Charlie Ward. Total fraud. Total fraud. Okay? As long as he can get attention, I guess that's what he's looking for. I don't know. But as long as somebody can gain from a lie, they're going to gain from it. But at some point, you got to think about... I've never been known to keep my mouth shut when there was something out there. I drive my family crazy because I'll get on something and I have been wrong in the past, or I have been educated after I have made a stance on a subject, and I'm presented with enough facts that I can change my mind. I'm not that closed-minded. But for Nesara Gesara, total sham, not the basic original idea of it, but everything that's happened since. Nesara is never going to happen. Banks are never going to give up the kind of control. The government is run by the powerful. The government wants to remain in control. The government doesn't give 2 flips about you. They don't care about helping you unless they get something major in return. Nothing could be returned to them through Nesara. Not going to happen. So I would suggest educating yourself. Read. Not every conspiracy theory is real. I'm not saying that no conspiracy theory is real. Not this one. This one is not real. And I apologize if I step on toes here, but you have an opportunity to change my mind. Okay? All right. God bless you all, and I will talk to you soon.